Howdy. How's it going, everybody? Happy Friday. Let's see. How's it going? You like my shirt? Thank you so much. It's a little big, but I love it too. Chris, thank you so much for the 21 months. Hi, everyone. Hope y'all having a good Friday. I hope you're having a good Friday. Thank you so much. Happy Friday to the Golden Nation. We talking hot goss. I just have, do you have any Kleenex tissues? What? Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Why do I always fall for this? What is wrong with me? Oh, hi, Sam. Have a good rest of your day. I missed last week's streaming due to a funeral. Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry for your loss. DJ Low, thank you for the 29 months. It's almost 30 now. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. We are going to react to the Noxus trailer, for those that are asking. We are going to react to the Noxus trailer. And then there's a couple... The Noxus trailer, it's the new, like, League of Legends cinematic. It's, like, the next show the Arcane people are working on. So we are going to react to that. And I also have two videos that I want to watch. One that is going into what the fuck is happening with... No, not political stream. The title's Hollywood drama, okay? Not politics, although sometimes that overlaps, but no. What the fuck is going on with Blake Lively and Justin Baldini? Because it's crazy, and I feel like I just need a little bit of clarity. I'm very confused. There's a lot going on with the countersuits, multiple lawsuits. It's kind of crazy. I just want to watch a video going into it a little bit. And then also a video talking about Amelia Perez, a movie of which I have not seen, but I've heard things about, and it's been nominated for a lot of Oscars, despite a lot of the things I've heard about it being very negative. So interesting. So those are the things we're going to react to today. Initially, the plan was to react and then play games. You'll notice, if you were paying attention, the stream title changed. That's just because my back spazzed this morning, my mid back. So I have a pillow behind my back right now. But sitting in this chair is not exactly comfortable. So unfortunately, it's just going to be a shorter stream today. We'll just react to that stuff, and then I'm probably going to have to go because I can't sit in this chair for very long. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I wish I could handle it, but I'm so old. I don't know what's wrong with me, guys. Like, it's just always back problems. Always. Baggy, thank you for the... Baggy, thank you for the 24 months. Thank you so much. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday to you. Will Morgan, thank you for the 29. Drama in Hollywood. Why I never. Exactly. Exactly. It's not even really surprising, but I do feel like this, like, crazy back and forth lawsuit behavior between Blake and Justin is kind of insane. And I just need to know more. Even though we're not really gonna get, like, clarity unless, like, the trials are televised. But we can get at least some, I can get a little bit more clarity. Because right now, all I have are the Deadline article emails that I keep reading every day. Like I'm subscribed to like Deadline Hollywood's emails. So like I'll read like the title. I don't even read the article unless I'm really interested. And with this, it's like there's been something new every day. It's just fucking insane. Depp versus Heard 2.0. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. It's interesting. Go see the chiropractor. They help a lot. Simon, it's funny you should mention that because I did see my chiropractor on Wednesday. She did so much work, so much stuff. And I'm wondering if stuff got loosened up and that's why it's spazzed. I don't know. My back is just, it's just in such a weird spot that like when I get help, it gets worse. When I don't get help, it gets 10 times worse. So there's really just no win or lose. It's all, there's no win, it's all lose. But, you know, I can still function. I still have it good compared to a lot of other people. So I don't want to complain too much. I'm just, like, I'm very lucky that I can still move around for the most part. But it just means I can't sit in this chair for very long, for a very long live stream. Hello, I recently watched your 2 Arcane vids. Your reaction to the Maddie betrayal scene was one of the funniest things I've seen in a while. Thanks, Meg. I appreciate that. David, thank you so much for the super chat. Did the fire stop? Here's some to help. I appreciate that. I haven't made the donation yet to California Community Foundation from the last stream that goes directly to them. It doesn't even come through me. So any super chats just went directly there. But the 2 videos on my main channel, I'm waiting until the month is up so that they've made as much as they kind of can. And then I'll donate. So I will throw in your donation as well. I'm going to throw in some extra money on top of the donation because I thought I'm going to donate like most of it to California Community, but then I'm probably going to throw in some extra to Pasadena Humane Society as well, just because animals. Poor animals. The poor pets. Adithep, thank you for the 15 months. Hello there. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday. Also, sorry, I didn't even answer your question, David. The fires, like Palisade and Eaton are virtually done, but like those are just like constantly being monitored. So like a hotspot doesn't get kicked up in the wind, but like pretty much everything that's burned, all the fuel that could burn is pretty much burned. They're pretty much done. It's more like, there's new fires. So it's great. The Hughes fire. I actually have a friend that lives near the Hughes fire. It's great. It's fucking phenomenal. I texted, I didn't text her directly because I actually don't have her number, weirdly enough. Like, we've hung out a lot. I have a mutual friend through her, so I texted my mutual friend and was like, hey, how's she doing? And she was like, okay. Like, she is not in a mandatory evacuation zone. She's in a warning zone, so she got her pets out of there, and then she went back to help her neighbors, but the winds are in her favor, so I'm like, okay. But it's fucking nonstop. There's a little Sepulveda fire that popped up east of the 405 the other day, but they've done a good job jumping on that. It's just been nuts. It's been nuts. It's nonstop. It's gonna be nonstop until we get like rain and, you know, substantial rain, like over a prolonged period of time, not just like a dumping that will cause tons of mudslides. Like, we need like lots of rain showers, little rain showers. Damn Jewish space lasers making new fires. Yeah. Oh my God. I think I said that on the last stream to you guys, but I thought that was so funny. I'm like, it's the Jewish space lasers. We really decided to attack our own this time. Everybody's like, oh, it's it's the Jewish elite. I'm like, yeah, they attacked their own neighborhood. David, thank you for the super chat again. Speaking of Arcane, when Maddie was revealed as a traitor, I thought, wow, that's really convenient. Now Caitlyn doesn't have to feel bad about cheating. Honestly, true, right? None of us have to feel bad. I mean, I guess it would have been more for Vi to feel bad, but Vi didn't give a shit. Vi's like, I don't care. I don't care. I'm a woman. I'm confident. I don't give a shit. Thank you so much for the super chat again. Osteopathy might be a better option. You mean like do you mean like an orthopedic doctor? Like, what's osteopathy? It takes time too. Got to build that muscle flexibility. Well, the thing is, I used to go to a chiropractor pretty regularly for years. And I felt like it was a Band-Aid solution and it never really made anything better. And then the breast reduction helped a lot, like a lot. So then I kind of just was like, I'm better now. I don't have to do anything except for like strength and yoga, maybe the occasional massage. And then, you know, got a little bit older and back got worse again, like a lot worse. Like now parts of my back are hurting that have never hurt before. And I'm just like, oh, this is 31. This is great. So now I'm going back to a chiropractor pretty regularly. I mean, I was always going to her for deep tissue and myofascial stuff, but now I'm also getting adjusted. So, Chris, thank you so much for the super chat. Can we get a quick reaction to the How You're to Train Your Dragon teaser or trailer? No, because I've already seen it twice. I've already seen it twice. Thank you for the super chat, though. I saw it once because I went to see Wicked, and it was one of the teasers before Wicked. And then I saw it again on TV the other day, like while watching one of the football games. Our teams had a hell of a time. GG's to your Eagles from a proud Rams fan. Thank you so much, Sinathan. I appreciate your good sportsmanship. You know, I have to say, we did not look very good offense-wise. Our defense is doing great. Our offense does not look very good. Like I have always kind of been nice when it comes to Jalen Hurts, and I try to take it easy on him because a lot of Eagles fans will be ruthless. But last game was the first time where I was like, put Tanner McKee in. I'm fucking sick of this shit. I started getting really mad, especially when the safety happened. I was like, this fucking bullshit. I was so mad. But you know, this week is a new week. Although, oh God, I'm so nervous for this next game. I was so stressed at the last games because I was with my friends who are also Bills fans. We were watching at an Eagles bar and we watched both games back to back. And so it was so stressful because we really want the Eagles and the Bills to make it. Because it would be so fun for our friend group. It would just be like the best party ever, but I don't know if it's gonna happen because I don't know, man. I just don't have a good feeling. I'm stressed. Really, at the end of the day, this might be like a sacrilegious thing to say as an Eagles fan, but I actually care more about the Bills making it. Because I'm so sick of the Chiefs. I'm so sick of them. I think everybody is, unless you're a Chiefs fan. Lions fan here, and we are depressed. You know, Greg, I felt for you guys, to be honest. It really felt like it was a year for the Lions. They've been shitty for so long, and to have these last few years where they've been improving and have become so formidable, I felt so bad. Washington just fought so hard. That game was amazing to watch. Like, it was so good, but holy crap. I think if y'all, I think the main problem with the Lions is just you guys aren't healthy. Like, you guys are having so many injuries and you have so many of your like great players out. It's just, there's only so much you can do, you know? So I'm hoping that, I think because like the Lions haven't had as long of a history of being a good team, they don't necessarily have like the rehab and the preventative injury and the health care side of things really like honed in and figured out. The main problem is that they're ass. No, they're not ass. They're good. They're really good, but they just lost. They lost a lot of their players. And even with like them having a lot of their backups in, they still put up an insane fight. Like Washington just got, Jaden Daniels is like fucking insane, man. It's scary. Scares me. I don't want to play him. Don't want to play him. Matt, thank you so much for the super chat. Glad to see y'all made it through the fires. Also flipping stoked to see Cyberpunk was in the polls. I thought you couldn't do anime, but it was a nice surprise. Well, isn't Cyberpunk not from Japan? Like that's... Or Or did I make a huge mistake? Oh, maybe it is. Maybe I just made a mistake there. I basically, like, I just steer clear of stuff from Japan, but that one might have accidentally slipped through the hole. It's not that I stay clear of anime because I don't want to watch it. It's just copyright. You know what I mean? It's a struggle. Oh, shit. Sorry. I was missing everything over here on Twitch. I'm so sorry. Oh, my God. Blood Lyrics. Thank you so much for the 4 months. Hi, Nat. Hope you're doing well. Since you're doing a react stream, here's the new Daredevil series trailer. I actually already watched it. I really enjoyed the trailer. I watched it in the last stream. I think it might have been on my unlisted, like my Patreon stream. So yeah, if you're a top tier patron, you would have seen it, but that might be why. Yeah, but I saw it. It's really great. Zanzibar White, thank you so much for the 7 months at tier 1. Clarity from Hollywood. Ha ha ha. Anywho. Thanks for the stream and all the effort you put in. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Wobagger, thank you for the bits. DJ Low, thank you again for the 16 months at tier 3 over here on Twitch. Thank you. Awesome Lionsaurus, thank you for the bits. I refuse to give up, so we'll keep suggesting it. Attack on Titan reaction would be peak. Might be a good Patreon exclusive. Yeah, that would probably have to be a Patreon exclusive just because it's anime from Japan, you know what I mean? That sounds silly to say because it sounds like I'm double speaking because I'm all anime, like it has to be from Japan, right? But you know what I mean. It's got a 9.1 on IMDb. Just saying. I mean, it's not that I don't want to. I wish that the copyright system was different and Japan played by the U.S. rules a little bit more. I'm just scared of them. Adatep, thank you for the 5 gifted. If you were gifted a membership by Adatep, please say thank you. Ever thought of reacting to the James Gunn Superman teaser trailer? No, I didn't. I don't know anything about that. Maybe. What is your favorite of this year's Oscar nominees? Okay, actually, I only looked at some of them. So let me pull them up right now. Hold on. Give me a moment. I'll show you guys in a second here. Hold on. Declan, thank you so much for the super chat. Any chance checking out the 28 Years Later trailer? I actually already watched that a while back, either on a Patreon stream or a public stream. I don't remember which, but I did watch that a while back. It was a great trailer. Super scary. Super scary looking. You've already reacted to the James Gunn Superman trailer. Oh, that's the new one, right? That just came out recently. I did react to that. That looked fun. I did react to that. You know, I can't even fucking remember sometimes. The things I've seen. Hold on. Full list. Okay. Let's go over this together. I'm kind of in a weird place where, like, I haven't seen most of these, if not all of them. No, I mean, I've seen some of them, but I really haven't seen a lot of these movies. So let me show you. Also, there's something really weird going on with my resolution, and I wasn't able to fix it, so I'm sorry if the browser looks a little weird. Okay, Anora, have not seen. But I like Neon. Neon's cool. The Brutalist, have not seen. A Complete Unknown, have not seen. Conclave, have not seen. Dune Part 2, have seen. Liked it a lot. Sorry. Amelia Perez, have not seen. Probably will not see, although I did have some friends say that they watched it and they think it's great to watch for a drinking game. I don't think I'm actually caught up on Daredevil, Tashreek. I just watched the trailer. Anyway. Apparently it's a musical. Yes, it's a musical. And the 2 people that watched it are musical theater nerds, and they thought it was atrocious. So, but they think it would be really great for like a drinking game. So I might watch it in that kind of format. Maybe we'll film it. Just a group party, a reaction party where we play a drinking game. They were saying, you have to drink every time you quit, every time you cringe. But I was like, that might happen too much. Like, I think we may need more firm rules. Anyway, I'm still here. Have not seen that. Nickel Boys, have not seen that. The Substance, have not seen that. I actually do want to watch it, but I feel like I'm almost too late for a YouTube reaction for that. Like, am I too late for that? I feel like that's too late. Like, I feel like I missed it. But I do want to watch it. Tyler actually watched it, and he said it was really good. He said there were some, like, cinematography moments he thought were a little heavy-handed, but he said all in all it was pretty good. Drunk in 10 minutes. I mean, that did happen to me with 50 Shades of Grey. I'd die of alcohol poisoning. I know. I haven't been drinking much lately, and I think I would die. Like, I don't know if that would help. It hasn't been a super popular movie as far as I know. Yeah. Not too late at all if it's an Oscar movie. I mean, I just don't know if it would even do well, to be honest, on my channel. But I do want to watch it. Wicked, I have seen. So, I'm so cultured over here, having seen Dune Part 2 and Wicked, the two biggest blockbuster movies of the bunch. Look at me. So cultured. But usually by the time the nominations come out, I've usually only seen 2 or 3 of the nominations. Like, usually once things get nominated, then I kind of pay more attention. Amelia Perez is an insult to Mexican culture and representation. I've heard it's an insult to Mexican culture and trans representation. I've heard it's an insult to a lot of people. And I would like to say I'm surprised that it's been nominated as much as it has, but also I'm not, because Hollywood is so far up its own ass and so out of touch at this point that it's just not even surprising. Like, it's just not. Best Director: Sean Baker, Brady Corbett, James Mangold, Jacques, the French guy. I'm gonna butcher his name. I'm sorry, Jacques. I'm gonna butcher his name. Coralie Fargit. Best Actress. I knew about the Wicked noms. Cynthia Erivo, Carla Sofia. Again, French is hard. Or maybe it's not even French. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Okay, whatever. Mikey Madison. I just don't want to mispronounce names. Demi Moore, Fernanda Torres. That'd be interesting if Demi won. I don't know. We'll see. Adrian Brody, Timothée Chalamet, Coleman Domingo, Ralph Fiennes, Sebastian Stan. Yeah, I've heard he's been getting nominated for stuff, which is cool. I actually haven't watched. I really haven't seen any of this. This is like, I have no opinions because I haven't seen anything. Denis got snubbed for director. He did get. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I mean, I have not seen any of other. Wow, I can't speak. I haven't seen a single one of these movies, so it's not like I know. But I would say that, yeah, he probably did get snubbed. It's pretty intense. Because, like, Dune Part 2 is pretty phenomenal. And, like, a major production. Best Supporting: Monica Barbaro, Ariana Grande, Felicity Jones, Isabella Rossellini, Zoe Saldana. I mean, I, again, have only seen this, but she was great. Cynthia was great as well. I have no thoughts on this because I have not seen any of these things. Like, I am so out of touch with. I think I'm at the point where, like, it's pronounced Finns. You know, we're just gonna go with first names from here on out. How about that? Okay, because I'm gonna continue to butcher names. I feel like the Oscars have, like, I don't know. I feel like I've cared less and less about them in the last 5-6 years, to where I'm almost like, I don't even really, like, care to watch most of these movies. I really don't. It just feels like whatever. Last year's nominations were mostly great. Oh, there was Oppenheimer, right? Oh my God. Hello. Ugh, I'm not subscribed. Well, can we go to... I want all the nominations. I don't want just the winners. Or maybe it says it here and I'm just... Oh, yeah, it does. I'm just an idiot. Okay. Cillian Murphy, Bradley Cooper, Coleman again. He's having a good couple years. Paul Giamatti, Jeffrey Wright. Robert, Sterling, Robert, Ryan, Mark. I actually did love Poor Things. I also loved Killers of the Flower Moon. I didn't see American Fiction, but Tyler really liked it. I loved Barbie. I loved Oppenheimer. Yeah, there were some good movies last year. I heard good things about, what's it called? Oh, what's it called? Zone of Interest. That was the one that I haven't seen, but I've heard good things about it. I mean, yeah, there were some good movies nominated last year, and I can't really speak to a lot of these because I haven't seen most of them, but I've heard really bad things about a movie that was nominated a lot. So I just don't know. Oh my God, September 5th. So I don't have any thoughts on this at all because, again, I have not seen it. But the thoughts that I do have is I think it's a little confusing that they didn't release it on September 5th. They released it like in fucking November. So the billboards in LA said September 5th, coming November, whatever. And it was very confusing. I don't know if the marketing on that was thought all the way through. Such a dumb idea. It was very confusing. Have you seen Mufasa? No, and I'm not going to. You want to know why? Because Disney has ruined so much of my childhood with these live action remakes. And I know Mufasa is like new. It's like a new one. It's not, a remake. I don't care. The Lion King is my favorite of all time Disney animated movie. It's my favorite. You cannot ruin that for me. I refuse. I refuse to let them ruin it for me. So I won't watch. So no, I have not seen it and I never will. I'm good. Love your Disney rants, dude. Don't get me started. Okay. I mean, I'm basically just learning that there's a lot that I need to watch. Oh, best animated. Hey, I've seen 2 of these. I did watch The Wild Robot. I tried to release that video on YouTube. DreamWorks has gotten a little crazy with the copyright. A little crazy. They've allowed me to keep my older stuff up, but they've copyright claimed pretty much everything. And then whenever I try to put something newer up, they just say no. Nope, not gonna happen. They do not let it happen. No matter how many times I re-edit it. Re-edit it. Inside Out 2 is gonna be an easy win. I wouldn't vote for it, actually. Ruru 2. I would vote for The Wild Robot over Inside Out 2. I haven't seen the rest, so obviously I can't speak to the rest of these, but I would vote for The Wild Robot because it was just like, it was so good. It made me so cry. It made me so cry. It made me so cry. How to Train Your Dragon trailer looks quite good. I mean, it looks good, but I don't know. It's funny because I got so mad about the fact that they were making a live action How to Train Your Dragon when it was announced, like, I don't know, a year or more ago. It might have been longer, maybe like 2 years, I don't even know. Whenever they announced it, I got annoyed. So annoyed. But then I just kind of was like, all right, I guess that's what they're going to do. So then when I saw the trailer in the Wicked movie, I was like, oh yeah, here we go. I was like, it looks good, but YouTube crashed. People are still replying. No, stream's healthy. We're doing fine. Maybe a crash for you? Rusty, thank you so much for the super chat. Hi, Nat. How are you doing? Where can I watch your and Tyler's movie? I'm in Scotland, by the way. Thank you so much for the super chat, Rusty. We don't have any distribution yet. Tyler does actually have a call with somebody tomorrow who's interested in distributing it. We just have to see if the deal makes sense. So, very exciting. Not sure what will come of it, but there might actually be a place for you to watch the movie sometime soon. Woo! We shall see. The deal might not be a great deal. We've been talking to entertainment lawyers about it and stuff. So if it's not a great deal, we might even just put it on YouTube. I don't know. We'll see. Soon there will be live action remakes of 2-year-old animations. I hate this trend. I know. So that was what Tyler was saying. Tyler saw the trailer in Wicked and he was irate because he didn't know they were making that. He was like, this is too early. What the fuck? Oh my God, 60 minutes. Can you get out of here? This is the trauma of the fires. I just want to have a moment where I can forget for 2 seconds. Anyway, the other day when the trailer came back on TV, he was just like, it's just too early. They did a Moana live action too. What the fuck? Why are we doing Moana already? Why? And I'm like, because they're running out of ideas. They need familiar IP. They have no new ideas. Live action remakes creep me out for some reason, especially the ones with animals. Yeah. Yeah, and I agree with you. Yeah, I know it already has a live action coming up. That's why we were talking about it. We were saying it's ridiculous. Aren't they making yeah, they're making a live action Lilo and Stitch, Wolf. I did hear that. Which sounds terrifying. I'm sorry, did nobody watch that movie? There's 50 aliens in it. How are you gonna make them all cute? If they're supposed to look realistic, that's not gonna happen. They're gonna look terrifying. They only look cute because it's animated. What the fuck? It's gonna be so disturbing. Anyway. Oh, Nosferatu, interesting. I wanna watch this. I wanna see this. Best costume design. Oh, Gladiator 2. Look, they got one, guys. They got in there. They did it. I don't think they're gonna win because this guy right here. I was saying when I saw this in theaters, I was like, if this doesn't win best costume design, then that's a travesty. Because the costumes were incredible. Although I have not seen the rest of these. So am I a fair judge? Not at all. Nosferatu might have great costumes as well, just given the subject material. But the costumes in Wicked were so great. Anyway. Best film editing. Okie dokie. Best production design. I love how best production design Dune got nominated, but not really nothing else. I mean, it got best picture nom. Okay. It should win this, I think. I mean, I don't know. Wicked was pretty great too, but Dune is just such a it's such a specific high concept world. I mean, Wicked is very, very detailed, very all the moving sets too, because there was so much choreography and moving sets that made it really challenging. So I do, in that way, I think it's great. But Dune Part 2, I think would have to win. Best original score. Interesting that Wicked's in here. Can you, I guess because it's an all new cast singing the songs? The songs are all from the musical. So it's not really an original score. It's original, I guess, in the sense that you got new people singing it, but I wouldn't be surprised if fucking Amelia Perez wins. It's nonsense. Dune Part 2 was unfortunately not able to be nominated for Best Original Score. Interesting. Best Original Song. Well, Amelia's gonna win because they got like 2 songs in here. Best Sound. I think Dune Part 2. I've actually seen all these except for this. Oh no, I haven't. What am I saying? I haven't seen this and I haven't seen that. I've seen 3. 3. The Wild Robot does have a very moving score, but I don't think it's gonna win in any of these categories. I think Dune should win. There's just such unique sound design, man. Best Visual Effects. I've seen these 3. I've not seen these 2. But against these 3, I mean, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was such an interesting movie, in the sense that plot-wise and character development-wise and line-wise, I had a lot of problems with it. So when we left the theater, Tyler was, he was like saying some of his criticisms, and I was like, well, the visual effects were really good. It was like one of the few things I could say about it. So maybe give it to them. Maybe just, come on. Come on. Although, I mean, I don't know. Dune, I think outwins Kingdom, to be honest. But come on. I'm honestly afraid Amelia will win many awards. I think they probably will, Mart. I think they probably will, and I think the Oscars are gonna get roasted this year. I don't think anyone's gonna watch. I think viewership is gonna be down, and I think they're gonna get roasted because I think Amelia will win a lot of categories. You quoted Sokka? Where'd you quote Sokka? Or are you typing it now? Maybe you're typing it now. Without Matt Reeves directing, it's not the same Planet of the Apes. Yeah. Substance will probably get makeup. Hey! The effects were decent. The effects were decent. Oh, is that something Sokka said in Avatar? Y'all have like a great memory for quotes, man. My brain, I cannot retain quotes. You know what movie is famous for helping create the Makeup and Hairstyling Award? I don't know. I don't really know what it's about either, Roger, but we're gonna we're gonna watch a video here in a moment that will probably help us figure it out. I know it has something to do with being trans and in Mexico. That's all I know about it. That's all I know. But it's also directed by a French guy. Because, the French clearly know the most about Mexico. Oh, when they watched the play about themselves, but the effects were decent? Yeah. Okay. Yep. I haven't seen any of the documentaries at all. Or shorts. All right. Well, I can't wait to not really pay attention to this. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, I see. For a second, I was like, did they schedule this on Super Bowl Sunday? But I forgot the Oscars are on a Monday, so it's the day after Super Bowl Sunday. So I can't wait to not pay attention even harder. Actually, who knows? If it's the Chiefs in Washington, I won't be watching the Super Bowl, so maybe I'll need something to do. Anyway, that was fun. Let's get into these reacts because my back is falling apart. This is the first video I wanted to watch with you guys. I'm gonna leave it in this mode and not put it as full screen because there's something weird going on with my OBS and I couldn't figure out the resolution, so it's a little bit off. So I'll just leave it like this. This video might give us a little bit of clarity on Amelia Perez without having to actually watch it. But I might still watch it. I do kind of like the idea of watching it with friends. I also kind of like the idea of filming it, like a reaction to it, even though I know it wouldn't do well. But I kind of like the idea of just like a bunch of my musical theater nerds and I getting together and watching it. I want to watch A Complete Unknown. There's definitely some Oscar noms in there that I'm curious about. Like, I'm not trying to shit on any of them. I just haven't seen a lot of them. Bad movie night vibes. Exactly. I think it could be fun. All right. Let's learn about Amelia Perez, the worst Oscar contender. Wow, is this the first video they've like ever posted, or this video? No, it's not. They just had a viral video. Good for them. Oh my God, they're killing it. That's amazing. Oh, they don't. Moana 2 is a massive disappointment. Oh, right, I forgot. Moana 2 was the one that just came out. This guy looks like he has some funny videos. A journey through cinema. He or she, sorry. I don't know. But make sure to go check out their channel and give this video a like because we are reacting to their content. So go support them. All right. Let's see what this is about.
So Amelia Perez just won the award for Best Musical or Comedy at the Golden Globes. And all I have to say to the voters is...
Boy, have you lost your mind, because I'll help you find it.
It was a win.
Oh, I love a good office meme.
Director Luca Guadagnino to literally stand up and walk out of the ceremony. Maybe he just needed to use the bathroom? Or maybe, just maybe, he too saw that Amelia Perez is some of the shallowest Oscar bait we've seen this side of the 2020s. Mingo. Its entire inclusion in the award season is less on the merit of good storytelling and more the voters using it as a big middle finger to the Trump ads that ran during this year's election cycle. But who doesn't like a film that boils the pot?
It always comes back to politics. Whoever was asking earlier, oh, we're reacting to politics. We're reacting to Hollywood, but it kind of just comes back around effortlessly. So,
and generates a few spicy headlines. The attention would be far more warranted if Amelia Perez on its own was actually a competent movie. Now, this may shock you here, so hold on, but I usually don't go to movies just to see how well they stick it to a campaign slogan. Yet what I hate even more is a bad movie. And the Golden Globes, they've forced my hand here. So now, let's dive into the inferno. For those who don't know, Amelia Perez follows a Mexican drug kingpin who transitions and tries to build a new life for herself and for her family with the help of a lawyer. It's hard for me to ignore that this film really is trying to balance a lot of big hot-button topics all at the same time. It's covering the Mexican drug cartels, it's covering illegal immigration into the United States from...
Oh my, that is a lot to cover. In a movie and as a musical. Why make it a musical? That seems like it should be a grounded drama. I mean, you can have grounded drama musicals, but I think the actress is played by an actual transgender actress. Well, of course, should be. They don't get points for that. That's like, fuck. Okay, great. You did the right thing.
Mexico, and it's covering trans identity and rights. Director Jacques Ayudar is like a cartoon character, trying to juggle a bunch of eggs, and then they all end up falling on his face. Or at least they would, if it wasn't for his circle of friends, who are busy patting him on the back and congratulating him on turning people into topical props. All while pretentiously spewing just whatever this is all over the screen.
I'd like to know about sex change operation.
I see.
Oh yeah, that's sorry, that's the part that my friends were quoting all weekend. They were going, I see. And I was like, what? And they were like, it's from Amelia Perez. You just have to see it. They can't stop now. They just keep going, I see, because they thought it was so bad. Or sorry.
To vagina.
What? Wait, hold on. I'll go back.
I see. From penis to vagina. Woman to man. Woman to man.
Today I'm using Upwork to hire WordPress developers.
I'm so sorry. I'm watching this on the wrong. Hold on. Give me a minute. We're going to go to my other. We should have gone to my other YouTube channel where I don't
So Amelia Perez
have. Hold on. I don't have ads. I made a mistake. Sorry. Give me a second. We're going to fix this so you can see. We don't have to sit through any more ads. My bad. Oops. Okay. Oh my God. Well, the lyrics are already inspiring a lot of confidence. Where were we? Oh my God. I thought we were so much further in than we were. Oh no.
So much art. I can't handle
So
it.
much
Do you
art.
see it? Do you see the art
So art.
happening? Amelia Perez is a movie that's almost entirely in Spanish, and it takes place in Mexico following a transgender woman. But it's directed by a French man
Entirely filmed in France. That's fucking great. That's so great.
who once said in a promotion, "I don't need to study any of this. I already know what I need to know." As a result, this movie gets a lot of things wrong about the Mexican culture as a whole, as well as the drug trade, politics, immigration, and, well, pretty much actually everything else. Many Mexican newspapers, critics, and even industry insiders, they were calling out the movie's depiction of their culture as shallow and inauthentic. I mean, they showed that they love football. What more do you want from him? I don't know, maybe not.
Listen, football, they've got sombreros and cartel. That's Mexico. I see no problem.
Depicting their entire culture as a violent hellscape and, having their entire nation stripped of its identity by some foreign director. Yeah, I'm sure that would be a start. There is real cartel violence in Mexico. This shouldn't surprise anyone. This remains a major issue for the country. In the hands of Udar, it is nothing but a means of shock value. In a place where real people are affected by rampant crime and people murdered or missing by hundreds, if not the thousands, he decides to create a main character who is...
Right. Oh my God. He's going to create a main character that was like running a cartel and then make them an empathetic political hero.
a violent cartel boss who is absolved of all her crimes just because she transitioned. Thus minimalizing any real-world violence.
Which also not only does a disservice to the people of Mexico, but also is just like pandering to a trans audience in the worst way possible. Like it's not a good representation. And it's a musical. Why? I don't know. Are these spoilers? Yes, I don't care, Ruru 2. This is not the kind of movie I need to go into unspoiled. I'm okay.
Violence as just kind of empty lip service. It's just like, oh, look at that. It's the little drug cartel kingpin. She's just a normal person.
No, she's a
Please ignore all
mom.
the bloodbath, murder, kidnapping, and destruction that was all enacted on her behalf. Nothing to see here. Everything about this setting is superficial and kind of surface level, all for this movie that's really trying to make Mexico a central location and narrative factor. Its attempts to cover issues here are all pretty poorly researched and half-assed. The director can't even be bothered to hire people who actually speak the language. Zoe Saldana, fortunately for her, she got away better on this front. I think she did actually know some Spanish from when she was a kid and then forgot it and then had to relearn it. Does she come off as a fluent and Mexican native? No, not really. But she was convincing enough for those Golden Globe voters who gave her the award for Best Supporting Actress.
I'm Mexican.
Really?
You know, this is all despite her character being this empty yes man who has no desire
I love
of her
that
own
line.
outside of the first
Really?
act, and just becomes boring besties with a mass-murdering sociopath, and treats it all like this is some big positive thing. She at least isn't on the same level of a disaster as Selena Gomez. Now,
Oh, no.
Gomez reportedly had only a few short weeks to learn Spanish.
Months.
And then proceeded to completely butcher the language, both in conversation and in song. You know, as if one wasn't enough. I can see why an actress would take a complex role that they may not be right for. Who doesn't want to challenge themselves in their career? But what I can't understand for the life of me is why a director would choose these actors for these roles. Now, just as an example, if
Oh my god, the lines.
I made a movie set in
Jesus Christ. Oh god. Griggsy, thank you for the super chat. The cartels deserve better representation. Oh my god. Jesus. This I think I have to watch this movie. Dude, I wish it was on Amazon and Twitch still had watch parties. Cuz that would be the way to watch it. Like, oh.
Kansas about a family of multi-generational farmers, I'd probably want to hire actors that actually, spoke English fluently, given that they're supposed to have been here for a very long time. I can only imagine for native Spanish speakers that this is as distracting as if you made A River Runs Through It, yet for some reason Brad Pitt keeps speaking with a thick Australian accent the whole time.
Right.
But he isn't Australian. Crikey, mate. There's a pretty big fish. I am very good at accents. Maybe they'll give me a Golden Globe. Or you can give me a like and subscribe if you're enjoying this, if that didn't send you away there.
Oh, I have to like it on my other channel. There we go.
Please, though, take some time to pity the poor casting director, because apparently she had no choice but to cast English-speaking actors.
Yep. That's the thing, is if you're a casting director, sometimes you have to take credit for a cast that wasn't yours, because it's really up to the director and the head producers. It's not really, the casting director can kind of like encourage people to go in a certain direction or bring certain people in for a reading. But if the director wants to do big offers, like your name's attached to it and it might have nothing to do with you. And you just kind of hope for the best. You're like, oh, this isn't how I would have done it, but my name's on it now. So why make it a musical? Like, actually, yeah, I don't know. I have so many questions about the choice to make it a musical.
Allegedly, she couldn't hire native-speaking actors because, to her, there were not enough good Mexican actors or actresses, in the entire country.
Oh,
yeah,
oh.
I'm sure that one's...
I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
Director,
that's such a dumb thing to say, because it's like, babe, you just didn't have the right casting pool. Like, you didn't have enough talent in your own pool that you knew of. And also, the director and producers probably wanted more name talent, and maybe you couldn't come up with as many names, but like, it's a big country, babe. There's definitely like Mexican natives who are good actresses. I'm sorry. Like, what? Let's forget the film industry in Mexico. Yeah, it doesn't exist. Okay, she's just racist. I don't know if it's necessarily racist, Griggsy. I think it's just total ignorance. A lot of people are lazy, and if they don't have like that pool to pull from because they haven't worked in Mexico, they might think like, oh, there's just nobody. And I'm like, no, you just haven't done enough research, and you haven't done enough outreach to find those people. Or maybe your director didn't want you to do that because they wanted to make offers to name talent that they knew of, and they just wanted who they wanted. And you're kind of trying to like come up with an excuse to cover your director's back so that you can maybe work with them again. Like, but it's not accurate what she's saying. Yeah, but they don't have name recognition in the States. It's true. It's true. There might be a lot of really talented actors who don't have name recognition in the States. And if that's probably what she meant, is that they wanted name talent, and that would have been harder to do. Because realistically, this movie would not be nominated for anything if they had no name talent. If Selena Gomez and Zoe Saldana were not in this movie, we would not be talking about it.
He lazily tries to justify Mexicans who can't speak Spanish by giving every single character non-native birthplaces. This was apparently shoehorned into the script last minute. The only conclusion I can draw is I don't think the makers could care less about correctly portraying this part of the world
Wow.
or its people. It was
Wow.
more about the optics of caring. But this movie,
The
it's more
optics
about
of
the
caring,
trans
right.
experience, you may be saying. Giving
Right.
a voice to a minority group. Right
Even
now,
though it's going to
we're working on a
offend them too simultaneously, I'm
video that
sure.
covers 1919's different from the others. The first ever feature to openly feature gay characters. Made in Germany at a time when the anti-gay laws there meant that you could have been thrown in prison just for being gay. The film was trying to argue for decriminalization and against persecution. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because gay men and women at this time were actually shunned from society, so the movie, they really sought to humanize them with a larger part of the population. To get this right, they worked very closely with a famed sexologist at the time, Magnus Hirschfeld, who even got a writing credit for the screenplay. Hirschfeld was deeply embedded in these communities, both for his written works and his sociological studies. Different from the others, it faced protests, people trying to destroy the film, and later even the Nazi Party tried to hunt down every copy. Only one managed to survive. That's why we have
Wow.
it today, at least in part. Different from the others, put in that effort to be authentic in its subject matter, and took the time to get the genuine perspective from the community. The director here can't manage that level of effort. Not when he claims he already knows everything he needs to know. So,
Right.
good for him, I guess. Trans actress
Yeah,
Carla
I can't imagine ever saying that in an interview. Like, I don't need to do any more research because I know everything I need to know. You know everything about the human experience of everybody in Mexico and trans people. You know everything. Like, that is such a crazy, arrogant statement to make. I can't imagine even when I'm 95 saying that. You're never going to know everything about everybody. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, why did this freeze? Okay, we're good. I just wanted to make sure everything was good. How French? Yeah, like real stories that actually like portray empathetic characters do way more service for a group of people when you're like trying to make it seem like a character that committed atrocities, was leading a drug cartel, committing violence, is all of a sudden absolved from all of that because they're transitioning. That just does such a disservice to trans people. Like if you were trying to portray that person as like a villain that wasn't absolved just because they transitioned, then that would at least be like a more accurate portrayal. Like, bad people exist everywhere, whether or not they're trans. Like, that's true equality. Just saying somebody's like a freaking like hero because they've transitioned, that's not really equality. Like, yeah, you should like treat them equally and welcome them into your world and be kind to others, but like, it doesn't absolve them of their sins if they committed atrocities. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Sofia Gasson actually comes out of this thing looking probably the best out of everyone and gives probably the strongest performance. She's doing the best she can.
I mean,
with
that's
the material
great.
That provides very little in the way of favors. Beyond the script that features poor pacing, bad character motivation, and a lack of just general research, what do you know? It turns out the trans community doesn't seem that fond of this film either, at least as far as I've been able to see. Ayudar, he treats transitioning like almost this death in rebirth. That Amelia's old self as Manitas.
Treated equally means treated equally. Exactly. I'm so sick of people trying to like hold certain groups on like a pedestal in the name of equality. I'm like, that's not equality. That's pandering. Fuck, man. You care so much about somebody's identity. Like, just treat them like a person. Fuck.
Was evil and violent. When she becomes Amelia, she is almost absolved of all these terrible crimes.
Yes.
Reborn in a way, which allows her to say, hey, new year, new me. And then
New
the film
year, new
portrays
me!
her as entirely sympathetic, free of accountability, and almost a completely
That's
disconnected
hilarious.
person. The problem with that is that even within trans circles, they don't see identity as working this way. They don't suddenly lose all responsibility and agency for actions taken before transitioning. They don't.
If that's how it fucking works, then like war criminals could just go through like a trans surgery and be absolved. Like, that's why this is so bad. It's such a bad representation because the implications of it are horrendous. It's like Rain Man. I haven't seen Rain Man. Rogier, thank you so much for the 12 months. Appreciate you so much. Woo, 12 months. I wasn't just saying, I was reading his message, by the way, guys. If you just think I was saying, woo, 12 months, I was reading his message. My New Year's motto was, let's get this over with, dude. My New Year's motto, I was sick as a dog with COVID and a stomach flu around New Year's. So my New Year's motto was, fuck, I'm dying. I want to not be dying anymore. And then I came back to LA and everything was on fire. And I went, fuck, this year sucks. So I think my motto has now changed to let's get this over with. I think I feel you. I really am so unmotivated to I just want to go back to like 2019. I'm so over it. Did you see the t-shirt thing? Oh, sorry. I missed some stuff on Twitch. Hold on. That Egyptian, thank you for the 4 months. Hope you have a great stream day. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Awesome Lionsaurus, thank you for the bits. I'm sorry, guys. For some reason, the Twitch notifications don't come through my conjoined restream chat. So then I don't see them unless I'm on Twitch's website. So sorry, sometimes I'm delayed. Thank you for the bits. I hear you about Attack on Titan as a Patreon exclusive. I will say that hundreds of the reactions, and it seems to not be an issue for any of them, but I don't know what triggers it. Yeah, it would just be a risk, but thank you for the suggestion. Stormino68, thank you for the 3 months. Hi, chat. Hello. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the more bits. Awesome line source. So just transition all cartel members. Problem solved. There you go. Giant Wombat, thank you for the bits as well. My New Year's motto is, oh shit, here we go again. Yeah. I just showed that to you guys. Oh, that's a little awkward. No, wait. Oh, fuck. I'm a mess today. Hold on. This isn't the right one. Uh-oh. I'm a mess. Hold on. I am having a today. Yeah. Maybe it's more than just today. Oh my God, dude. I lost the window. Oh, here we go. Let me oh, you can see it now. Okay, we're good. Oh. All right, we're back. Pro streamer. Yeah, pro streamer.
Become just this blank slate, and their old life doesn't become this repressed persona like it's Gollum. And that's not even getting into the kind of heavy misandry of blaming Amelia's old violent actions on her past masculinity, and that it's only in transitioning to womanhood that she discovers her softer, gentler side, okay? It doesn't matter. She still did all the
men bad, woman good. Men bad. Sorry.
those terrible things like murder, kidnapping, drug trade. The movie wants you to forget all of that, and it works very, very hard to misdirect your attention. And I'm not even getting into the half of it here. There are many, many more trans kind of no-nos that they did here, such as dead naming, a trans woman abandoning her child after transitioning, and then reversing and I guess kind of misdoubtfiring her kids.
Misdoubtfiring her kids?
Great. A trans woman having her male side emerge.
I do love Mrs. Doubtfire. Movie Mike, thank you for the 2 months. Did you smoke the reefer again? Yeah. No. Thank you. I will never again before a stream. Thank you for the 2 months. Appreciate you. Preach. Man bad. Woman good.
In a scene where she's angry and overpowering her ex-wife. And then there's a song where a kid sings like, you smell like Papa.
Hueles como papá.
All of it not great. And again, another stellar song. My point is not that I'm deeply offended by all of this, and I'm not going to pretend that I'm really, really entrenched in this community. I'm not. I'm an outsider. My point is that this guy probably understands it even less than I do. And if the movie's clumsy attempts at understanding its own subject matter, that wasn't enough, this is a director who very clearly has been getting a little too high on his own supply. Udar, he is an artiste, okay? An artiste. And he will be damned if you forget it for more than 2 seconds. Why would they decide to make this a musical, you may be asking? Especially when the songs are terrible.
That is my main question.
Will you please tell your Mr. Mystery, instead of having plastic surgery, he'd better change ID.
Changing the body changes society. Changing society changes the soul. Changing the soul changes society. Changing society changes it all.
And most of the blocking kind of looks like a high school.
Who composed this? Hold on. I have questions. Camille and Clement Ducol. What else have they done? I have questions. Most notably for his work on Chicken for Linda. And Amelia, that's it? Let's go to IMDb. Hold on. I know you guys can't see what I'm looking at. Sorry, hold on. Chicken for Linda, Annette, The Little Prince, and Amelia Perez. No, there's some other things in here. Okay. He did do Maestro. Oh. I just think, I want to know if he did any musicals. Like, not like movies, but like, not like movie musicals, but like theater. It's paused. Yeah, it's paused. It is paused. I was looking on a separate window that you guys can't see. Sorry, I just didn't want to change it over. All right, we're back.
Production. Well, that would probably be because somebody told the director that America really likes to give award to musicals. And hey, musicals are back, so why not? Never mind, the musical numbers feels very oddly out of place. Every single one of them. They're all very jarring. This is the sort of musical that makes me long for Joker 2 by comparison.
That is swinging on
That's another movie that also shouldn't have had musical. Like, I don't know why. Like, not everything needs to be a musical. Like, what's happening? I love musical theater. I love musical theater, but you can't have everything be musical theater. What the fuck is going on? It breaks my heart, man. I'm like, no, just musicals are musicals. Not everything is a musical. I'm just confused how Zoe Saldana actually took this job and tried it. I would have walked out. You know, it's hard sometimes to see how something is going to be. Like, when you're an actor and you're on set, you are one puzzle piece in the entire production. And sometimes you can read a script and go, ooh. And sometimes you read a script and you're like, oh, I like this script. I think it's good. And maybe she read the script, got it on board early, but they didn't have the musical numbers yet. And she went, okay, I think this is going to be really great. I'm going to be a part of it. And by the time the ball gets rolling, a lot of times you might not realize something is bad until like filming is almost done. And sometimes you won't even realize it then. Sometimes it's like everything on set feels like it's going great and you're not in charge of the finished product. Like, your job is done and you go away and they edit it. And then sometimes you see a screening and you're like, oh no, oh God. Sometimes it's apparent sooner. Like, I've worked on a movie where, like, you could tell some of the actors figured it out. They figured it out by, like, the last couple weeks. They were like, oh no. But at that point, you got like 2 weeks left. You're not gonna bail, because that's such a dick move. And I know you're saying, oh, I wouldn't let my name be attached to this trash. I would leave. But that actually tarnishes your name a lot in the industry. It is a huge deal to be a part of a movie for months and months and months and get to the final, like, few weeks of filming and bail out. That is a huge deal. You would get blacklisted pretty quickly. It does, even if you're Zoe, like, it's kind of career ending level of poor behavior. I mean, you could maybe get out of it. Do Joaquin Phoenix and bail right before production. Yeah, that's when you can bail. You can bail right before production and it'll be okay. Now, the people working on the movie will be fucking stressed and they'll be upset that you did it, but no one else in the world will care. Nobody else in Hollywood will give a fuck. They'll work with you again. If you bail near the movie's end and they need to, like, scramble to, like, fix you leaving, then that's, yeah, you signed a contract. You're going to be sued. And you might not work again. Like, that's a big deal. So yeah. If you're desperate for work, you'll take anything, including playing a kitchen sink. That's true too. Like, some people might just, well, it's not even that she might not have even been desperate. She might have just genuinely read this and thought this is going to be an Oscar contender. And you know what? She's right. She was right. I'm sure that somebody on her team said this is going to be a contender for the Oscars. And she did it. And look, she's nominated. So
sequences.
yeah, I doubt she was desperate too, Phoenix. I just read somebody's message saying, oh, she, like, might have been desperate. I'm like, I don't think she was desperate.
Poorly directed, cringe-inducing, and made me want to go watch Wicked again to properly wash my eyes out.
Oh.
Now that was a movie that knew how to do a musical.
Oh, sorry. Can I watch that choreography again? Loathing. The choreography was so good.
Wicked again to properly wash my eyes out. Now that was a movie that knew how to do a musical. Many Spanish speakers have pointed out how cheesy the lyrics are in their native language. And that's no surprise to me. They were cheesy when I read them as subtitles.
Hold on, I have to read it again. All these people talk, but now they are going to pay.
It gets even better, though. Add in some over-the-top, on-again, off-again, artsy-fartsy expressionism that makes wine drinkers in France and Napa Valley feel really cultured. Now you've got the makings of a movie that's excess in style and lacking in tonal cohesion. Listen.
Right, I was going to say, like, you can't mix those two. Like, you can't mix musical with that. It's just like when you hear the logline for this movie, it doesn't scream musical. Box wine is superior.
Now, called I Saw the TV Glow. While I also was not a fan of this one, I can at least appreciate how it was embraced by the target audience and had a layer of effective subtext for them. It also had a consistency in its style, even though I personally failed to connect with it. It successfully knew its audience. Amelia Perez, it also knows its audience. It's just, not the trans community. And it's certainly not people who live in Mexico either.
No, their audience is Hollywood. Their audience is Hollywood executives. That's the audience.
Its target audience is Hollywood elites. These are the people who like to talk about their refined film palette over a charcuterie board of cheese and crackers, all while not having the awareness that they're actually drinking great.
Not cheese and crackers, like more like goop. Like more like Gratitude Cafe or something,
Grape juice and eating wheat thins with Cheese Whiz. For them, it is more about what is
Tums!
being served, not the quality
That's
of
great.
what is on
That's
the
true. That's
plate.
fair.
Amelia Perez has decided that this is their target group, and it's hit it dead center. If this all sounds familiar, it is because this is not our first time around the block. Back in 2004, the Academy chose what many consider now to be the worst Best Picture ever. You may remember it. It's Crash. At the time
I never
Crash
saw
was
this.
released, people again were maybe too concerned with optics rather than the actual quality of the storytelling. Voters felt it was saying the right things about race in America at that time. However, in the process, it was actually kind of making a more shallow and melodramatic case for its arguments, all while creating stereotypes and kind of almost nearly doing the exact same thing it was preaching against. Characters were
Like leaning into the stereotypes of racism. Isn't that funny how, like, some people don't understand that when they're making a movie that, like, if they're trying to pander to that ideal, they can almost make it worse by reinforcing the stereotypes. What is even Oscars anymore? That's a really good question, Goodly. It's a really good question. I never saw Crash, but, you know, sounds interesting. David, thank you for the sorry, super chat. Hold on a second. Thank you for the super chat. I like watching the show Deadly Women about female murderers because it makes me feel better about being a man. There are some violent women out there. You know what? There are. Murder. It's not just for guys. Martin, thank you so much for the Prime sub. There we go.
Reduced to just these flat tropes. It felt like a soap opera, and the tone had almost this edge of being like a sermon, like you were being preached to. But it was a sermon on topics that clearly they had a pretty minimal grasp on. What do I know, though? It all led to Oscar Gold. History has a way of repeating itself time and time again. If the Oscar voters, they don't wake up and smell the roses, they may be heading for another just widely publicized embarrassment.
Oh, it's definitely happening.
I would not be surprised to see Amelia Perez end up as the crash of 2024. As it stands, it's among one of my worst movies of 2024. It's disastrous as a musical. It's kind of offensive to Mexicans, and it's certainly out of touch with the trans perspective. It's a mess of a movie full of despicable murderers and dirty lawyers, and the film just wants me to root for them when really I have Mexicans of 2024. It's disastrous as a musical.
I have to see this again. I'm sorry.
It's kind of offensive to Mexicans, and it's certainly out of touch with the trans perspective. It's a mess of a movie full of despicable murderers and dirty lawyers, and the film just wants me to root for them when really I happily prefer to see them all behind bars. But that's all I got. Now go to my comment section. Go.
You know.
Sorry, what now?
Oh, that was a nice little palate cleanser. I'm going to be real upset if they win. You know what, Juliana? I kind of don't even care. I think at this point, I'm so over Hollywood. And I'm so over the Oscars that I'm kind of just like, let it win. Let them get roasted. I'm so sick of this shit. Now, that was a good movie? Yes, exactly, Giant Womp. That was a good movie. That was a fun movie. Yeah, where's the Deadpool nomination? Awesome Lion Source, thank you for the bits. Thoughts on doing reactions for classics like Prince of Egypt and or stuff like Treasure Planet? Treasure Planet's definitely on my list. I hadn't even thought about Prince of Egypt. I haven't seen that in a long time. Hush now, my baby, be still, don't you cry. Ugh. I love it, but I haven't seen it in a really long time. But I watched it a lot, you know, in Jewish school. So that's why I know it. But yeah, maybe. Treasure Planet I've only seen like once. If I've seen it, that's one of those movies that I'm actually not sure about if I've seen it or not. So that's definitely on my list. I need to get back into animated movies. Ugh, that song in Prince of Egypt is like, it just tickles the spot in my brain that's like, it makes me want to like weep. Tears of joy, you know? Ugh. Anyway. That would get copyright stricken so fast though, but oh, it's such a good musical. You know what's also a good musical? Hunchback of Notre Dame. Damn, man. The music in that. That's one of those animated movies that truly has like a really great villain. Such a realistic and creepy villain with an incredible song. Hell of fire. Okay, what was the other video I was going to watch? I saved it on my watch later on my other account. What? don't want to. Oh, Legal Eagle. This video. So we're pivoting a little bit, but we're staying in the realm of Hollywood because I'm confused. I have no idea what's going on with these two. So Legal Eagle is going to help us out here. I'm sure y'all have heard of him, but if you have not, go check out his channel. He does a lot of really interesting legal breakdowns of all kinds of different situations and politics stuff as well. So yeah, go check him out. Go give him a like, because I'm just gonna react to his content. But also, I'm too lazy to read all the articles and try to figure everything out for myself. So I do need help to understand Blake Lively versus Justin Baldini because I'm so confused. Yes, we'll end with the Noxus. We'll end with Noxus. We're gonna watch this, and then we're gonna watch Noxus, and then I'm gonna go because my back hurts. Okay, sound good? Good. Now it's ignoring us. I'm listening. I have. Welcome to Noxus. Don't worry. Relax. We're going to get there. We're getting some tea today. Listen, I said Hollywood drama. Okay, here we go.
It ends with us in court. Blake Lively is suing her co-star and director, Justin Baldoni, accusing him of sexual harassment on the set of the smash hit.
I'm pretty sure I said Justin Baldoni earlier, but I'm now having a fear that I said Justin Baldini. Like Baldini. If I said that, I meant Baldoni.
It ends with us and orchestrating a retaliatory smear campaign to tarnish her reputation. In response to Lively's lawsuit, Baldoni filed a $250 million slap lawsuit against the New York Times for publishing Lively's
so he sued the New York Times and her.
Accusations, claiming they are false and part of her own smear campaign against him. Yes, you heard that right. 2 stars of a blockbuster romantic drama about breaking the cycle of abuse are now headed to court over an alleged cycle of abuse.
It's like rain on your wedding day. Isn't it ironic?
Hey, stop it. Stop it.
Life always finds a way to imitate art, doesn't it? But Lively alleges that Baldoni improvised physical intimacy during their scenes without her prior agreement, kissing and touching her without her consent. She claims Baldoni repeatedly made inappropriate comments about her body, presented numerous photos and videos of naked women to her for no reasonable professional purpose, initiated inappropriate discussions about his pornography addiction and sexual history, and pressed her to be nude from the chest down, save for a small strip of fabric to cover her genitals, while filming a birthing scene despite her prior protest. And that's just apparently the tip of the iceberg. Lively claims that after she complained about the hostile environment, Baldoni and his production company launched a covert digital campaign to destroy her reputation and suppress.
I'm starting to feel like we should have started with this and not and not done Amelia Perez first, because Amelia Perez is just like, it's like a movie where, you know, we're just commenting on. This is like these are some serious allegations. I didn't know what was in this. But this is the crazy thing, because like these allegations are so crazy and serious. So if these are true, this is awful. But if for some reason this is a smear campaign and this is and like Justin Baldoni, I keep wanting to say Baldini, the counter lawsuit, if that like if he's actually in the right, then this is fucking awful too. So like it's just like, what's going on here? This is why I needed to figure out what the fuck's going on here, because I'm like, what? This is crazy.
Press valid criticism of Baldoni's bad behavior. If this is indeed true, then the conspiracy was certainly effective. When It Ends With Us premiered in August, the tide of social media sentiment abruptly shifted against Lively. Overnight, it seemed that internet mobs...
I was definitely a part of that. Oops. Yeah, I was definitely a part of that. But in this situation, like, listen, like, I wasn't being too harsh. I was just kind of being mildly critical. You can go back and watch the live stream if you want. I don't think I said anything that crazy. I was just kind of like, But then when this came out, I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck? So listen, I'll hear her out, but I'm very confused right now. At this point, I'm kind of starting to think that they're just both villains, but I'm very confused. Man, this escalated from Amelia Perez. Yeah. Oh, from your lively react. Yeah, this did. Oh, yes, it did escalate. Yes. It's escalated a lot.
Decided Lively was a bully, a diva, and notoriously difficult to work with on set. But mere weeks after Lively's lawsuit in December, Baldoni played an Uno reverse card suing the New York Times for $250 million for their role in Lively's alleged mastermind scheme to destroy his reputation and suppress valid criticism of her own bad behavior.
I do have to say one thing. I'm sorry, I keep pausing. I have to say one thing. I do find it interesting. Like why wait for this lawsuit after the social media stuff? Like, if these things happened, why would you wait? I mean, I'm not trying to blame a victim here. Like, if these things fucking happen, this is awful. And like, but I am kind of interested about the timeline of when the lawsuit came from Blake Lively's side, just considering it seemed to happen based on the smear campaign that was happening on social media. But like, wouldn't it be more about everything that happened on set? Because these accusations are horrific. So it's interesting timing, but at the same time, if these things happened, I don't really care. I mean, that's despicable and disgusting. So, I mean, either way, my Ryan Reynolds bias extends to Blake Lively. Hey, I mean, at this point, I don't know what's going on. I want to believe all victims, but at the same time, I just want to see how things play out. But if this is all true, then that's horrific, and I'm horrified that happened to her. But also, if this didn't happen, that's fucking insane. I can understand not wanting to start a lawsuit. A lot of things can get dragged into the open. That's true. That's true, really, Crunchy. That's a good point. Like, maybe she just didn't want to do any. Maybe she wanted to like let it fade away and be quiet about it. And then when everything started blowing up even more, she decided to speak up. Who knows? I don't know. That's the thing. This is fascinating. And the reason I wanted to dive deeper into this and learn more is because it's so confusing, and it seems like not all is what it seems. Like, I don't know who to believe. I like want to believe her. And I feel like a horrible person for even saying that. I'm not sure right now, but I feel like there's a lot that needs to be uncovered. At least I'm also an idiot, by the way, full disclosure. This is my first time even diving deep into any of this, so I'm also an idiot. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. We just need to wait and see. Exactly. Like, we're not going to know anything until like court proceedings, really. But all right, here we go. I'm sorry.
If nothing else, Baldoni has a lot of self-confidence for a man best known for playing the boyfriend on Jane the Virgin.
Everyone is the hero in their own story.
So what's going on here? Who are we
That was so cheeky. I love it.
to believe, and what happens next? Well, today we're going to be diving deep into sexual harassment, lawsuits, retaliation, and the most important things to understand about cases like this that the media keeps getting wrong every single time this happens. Now, It Ends With Us is a movie based on a Colleen Hoover novel about domestic violence. The two main characters are Ryle Kincaid and Lily Blossom Bloom, two character names that even Charles Dickens would be embarrassed to use. But Ryle is quick to get riled up and beat her, while Lily Blossom Bloom owns a successful flower shop, and only by leaving her abusive marriage will Lily Blossom Bloom ever figuratively bloom herself. If you've seen the movie, you know it gets less subtle from there. In this scene, Lily is grieving her dead father while hanging out on a New York City rooftop. She meets Ryle, a neurosurgeon who is grieving the death of his 6-year-old patient, and Baldoni bangs open the door and kicks the chair, so you know he's angry. Spectacular. Tommy Wiseau level acting from Justin Baldoni.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not.
Oh,
this
hi,
is a man
Mark.
who wants you to know that he is acting.
It's a strong chair.
But luckily, Lily and Ryle aren't too sad for flirting.
What do you do for a living?
Neurosurgeon. Is that funny?
This movie is just really, really terrible. And yet somehow it became a...
He's like, I can't watch these scenes. Oh, I haven't seen The Last of Us 2 teaser yet either. Maybe we'll get to that. We'll see.
runaway hit, presumably earning massive back-end paychecks for Lively and Baldoni. And an even more financially lucrative sequel was all but assured to be rushed into production. That is,
Oh,
until
really?
torrid behind-the-scenes
I had
drama
no
still
idea
met
there
with
would be
the
a
public.
sequel. That's crazy.
Baldoni produced, directed, and starred in this movie. Co-star Blake Lively now alleges that after production wrapped, he then engineered a smear campaign against her as retaliation for her calling out his alleged professional and sexual misconduct on set to the media, which he counterclaims are gross mischaracterizations of what actually happened. While these kinds of allegations are rare in the grand scheme of the thousands of movies that are produced every year, they are more common on the sets of movies that tell sexually charged stories. And It Ends With Us is definitely a sexy movie with a lot of sexy sex.
Your frittata's burning.
The first guy I had sex with was homeless.
Stop. Tell me more.
I actually think we're supposed to say temporarily unhomed.
Can't top that. That was both sexy and disturbing.
Now, it shouldn't matter what type of content is being shot, but that hasn't stopped unscrupulous actors in the past.
This is the
from
movie
pun
that
from
people were raving about. Chubby, no one was really raving about it. I mean, maybe. I don't think anybody was really raving about it. People were just talking about the drama around it because there was a lot of drama around it when it released. Because people thought the marketing didn't really match up with the actual content of the movie. And then people were kind of going back and watching old Blake Lively interviews and just roasting, like ragging on her. But I don't think anybody was raving about It Ends With Us.
Suggesting in the court of public opinion that their victims failed to discern reality from the sexually charged fictional scenes. That often leads to the public to interpret claims like this as juicy he said, she said gossip, and tabloids make millions perpetuating the endless speculative narratives. Now, as the details of these two lawsuits hit the internet, many fans of the book started dividing themselves into two camps, Team Lively and Team Baldoni. This happens all
this happens all the time, but especially with a book like this. Like, I mean, like, it would be like if, this isn't quite the same comparison with the book material, but like, if like Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart got into a lawsuit over Twilight, there would be like Team Bella and Team Edward. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so
all the time, especially because
common.
The media routinely frame sexual misconduct lawsuits as a contest between two people.
That's true.
Though in
Like
Lively's
Lively
complaint, she
versus
claims there are
Baldoni.
witnesses to most of the events depicted. Now, the main players in Lively's lawsuit include Justin Baldoni, the movie's director and co-chair of Wayfarer Studios, and producer Jamie Heath, the CEO of Wayfarer Entertainment. Quote, as studio head and director, all actors, crew, and staff on the film, including Miss Lively, answered to Mr. Baldoni. The hierarchy matters because Baldoni described himself as being at the top of the totem pole during the making of the movie, which could mean that he was legally responsible for what happened on set. Wayfarer Entertainment positions itself as a, quote, cause-driven media studio focusing on creating content that highlights inspiration, unity, and the power of human connection. And Baldoni hosts a podcast called Man Enough, where he discusses toxic masculinity. And the complaint alleges that Baldoni wanted to use the film about domestic violence to further his image. Quote, Mr. Baldoni and Mr. Heath have positioned Wayfarer as a male feminist platform that explores gender roles, dismantles toxic masculinity, and creates a safer, judgment-free society for women. Production on the film started in May of 2023. Lively says during the first 6 weeks of production, Baldoni created a hostile work environment antithetical to the values Baldoni expressed in the public. Lively alleges that Baldoni, Heath, and Wayfarer Studios ignored industry standards with respect to nudity and sexual scenes. In recent years, production companies increasingly hire a position.
If that's true, that's an intimacy coordinator. I was about to say, if that's true, that's really bad because it's such an easy thing to like have an intimacy coordinator on set, and like you as the director and lead actor have to like really concede to your co-star. There's ways to go about it in a safe way. So I wonder if they had an intimacy they have to have an intimacy coordinator. You can't not have one.
An intimacy coordinator who are trained and certified by the Screen Actors Guild to act as a liaison between on-screen talent and behind the camera staff, ensuring that intimate scenes are conducted safely, respectfully, while also fulfilling the vision of the director. The complaint alleges that without such protections in place, Baldoni felt free to improvise. Quote, for instance, Mr. Baldoni discreetly bit and sucked on...
Do they not have... I'm so confused. Do they not have one? That involves paying someone? Yeah, that's a huge mistake. Sounds like they didn't. That's not good. That's not good. Ooh.
on Miss Lively's lower lip during a scene in which he improvised numerous kisses.
I mean, I've actually been I've been on a set where I was encouraged to kiss somebody and we didn't have an intimacy coordinator either. So I've been in scenarios like that, not at this level with a scene, like a part in a movie where like it's sex scenes and I'm like the lead, like nothing like that. But I've been in a movie where I was told, hey, can you just like make out with this guy? And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. No. I was like, this is some random extra. I'm not doing that. So I just came up with something else that kind of like served the purpose, but wasn't as violating for me. I don't know how else to say. Wait, really? Yeah, really. I don't want to say what or when or whatever, but yeah. But yeah. I've seen that happen. So I have been on set where I didn't, at least in my scenario, there wasn't an intimacy coordinator. I don't know if there would have been for other roles, but there wasn't for me. And so I have seen that. I think it's yes, you have to pay for one, but it is way cheaper than a lawsuit. And it protects people. And also, if you're like the lead actor and the director, it protects you. But if he did everything that's alleged in this complaint, then he's a predator and wouldn't want those protections in place. So that I'm love-making scenes are totally unnecessary, and I wish they would skip making those. I mean, I disagree with you, Roger. I think there have been a lot of movies where like they can be really well done. So I actually disagree with that, but I do think there are plenty of creepy directors out there who will like overuse them as like an excuse to fill some weird perversion that they have. In my scenario, that was not the case. I do want to be explicit with that. Like that was not the case with mine. I wasn't told by the director to make out with that guy. I was told by somebody else. So that's another reason why I said no and I didn't listen, because I was like, you're not the director. If it was the director, I would have maybe said like, hey, I have some concerns. Let's talk about this. It wasn't the director. It was somebody else who thought they were like hot shit. And I went, you're not hot shit. I'm not going to do that. Voto, thank you so much for the super chat. It's not Noxus time. We're not done with the video yet, but thank you for the super chat.
On each take, Mr. Baldoni insisted on shooting the full scene over and over again, well beyond what would have been required on an ordinary set and without advance notice or consent. Or at least the number that's not required by anyone who isn't named David Fincher. And the complaint alleges that when the two filmed a scene of the two characters dancing with no dialogue for a montage, Baldoni allegedly broke character, quote, at one point he leaned forward and slowly dragged his lips from her ears and down her neck as he said, it smells so good.
And I definitely want to kiss you again.
Well, that I can do.
Lively says when she objected to his behavior, he retorted, quote, I'm not even attracted to you. Lively claims that Baldoni then added graphic sex scenes to the script without her knowledge or consent, quote, including a scene in which Miss Lively was to orgasm on camera. She objected, but he lectured her on how he was making something for the female gaze, so it was a good thing. Although Baldoni removed that scene, he allegedly continued to add new ones. Quote, Mr. Baldoni then intrusively asked Miss Lively whether she and her husband climaxed simultaneously during intercourse, which Miss Lively found invasive and refused to discuss. During a scene...
Dude, if this, oh my God, if this is like, wow, this is really bad. This is so bad. It doesn't sound good. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was thinking earlier when I said like, that is the exact case where like, this is the exact case where like these sex scenes are gratuitous and not necessary, especially when they're being cut and they're not even making the movie. Like that is purely, that's purely just for some creepy reason. And then to be asking questions about somebody's personal relationship and private life is pretty disgusting. But I'm really interested to see what his countersuit says as well.
When her character gives birth, Baldoni and Heath insisted that Lively perform the scene naked. Lively claims Baldoni said his wife had ripped her clothes off during labor, and it was not normal to wear a hospital gown during birth.
What? What? Oh my God. I would be like, you can fire me now. Like, no. Olivia Wilde, Don't Worry, Darling, all over again. Exactly. It's not just men. I mean, it's not just men. And it's not all men.
Hey, guess what women love? When men lecture them about the right and wrong way to give birth. But, quote, Miss Lively disagreed but felt forced into a compromise that she would be naked from below the chest down.
Why is that even necessary? You're not even going to see anything. Why? That doesn't even make sense.
Birth scene was filmed. The set was chaotic, crowded, and utterly lacking in standard industry protections for filming nude scenes, including turning off the monitors so the scene was not broadcast to all crew on set, including personal phones and iPads connected to the camera feed. Mr. Heath and Mr.
Bro, this is a lot of very specific complaints. These are a lot of like very specific complaints. This is not looking good.
When he also failed to close the set, allowing non-essential crew to pass through while Miss Lively was mostly nude with her legs spread wide in stirrups and only a small piece of fabric covering her genitalia. Lively says the production did not give her anything to cover herself with until they had already shot multiple takes. She alleges that Baldoni cast his best friend for the role of the OBGYN rather than using a local actor. Lively said that she felt humiliated by the non-professional act.
I mean, this I can understand. Like, I'm sorry, but that's a thing that directors will do, is try to get your friends roles. That's kind of like that. I don't necessarily think is egregious. Although having the actors, I like a lot of this other stuff is horrific.
Actor who had his hands and face in her intimate areas throughout the scene. And allegedly on the day of the shoot, Heath took out his phone and showed Lively and her assistant a video of a woman with her legs spread. When Lively objected to seeing the video, Heath said it was a video of his wife giving birth, and Heath allegedly told Lively that his own wife isn't weird about this stuff, unlike Lively and her assistant. Now, Baldoni responds to these allegations.
Bro, you have to... Oh my God. Dude. He was revealed to be a sex offender? What are you talking about? What? Oh, for the Predator? What? Yeah, but that role, true. I mean, no, I'm not necessarily saying like they needed to be in that role. Like you probably could have hired a different person, but the real problem there isn't necessarily that he hired his friend. The real problem is that they needed an intimacy coordinator to handle that scene and make sure that everything was discussed consensually and like Blake was okaying everything in that scene. Now I want to know about the friend. Yeah, now I have more questions. The deeper I get into this, I just have more and more questions.
In his lawsuit against the New York Times. And he says, quote, the claim is patently absurd. The video in question was a non-pornographic recording of Heath's wife and baby during a home birth, a deeply personal one with no sexual...
It's not so much that... It's not even so much that there's sexual overtone. It's more about the fact that you just showed a video of your wife giving birth without asking them if they wanted to see it. Like, all you had to do is say, hey, like, do you want to see this video of my wife giving birth? She said she's okay with you seeing it. I don't know if it would help you get into the scene. And then when she says no, you can go, okay, sorry. Like, don't just show it to her. That's kind of weird.
Overtone. And the complaint includes a screenshot of Heath's wife's water birth. But the list of complaints sadly goes on. Now, obviously, if you're going to run a sketchy movie production, you're going to want a good lawyer. But if you want a great lawyer, my law firm, the Eagle Team, can help.
Hey.
If you've gotten in a car crash, suffered a data breach, especially if you got one of those data breach letters saying that your information might have been leaked, or dealing with a workers' comp or social security issue, we can represent you or help find you the right attorney. So
Blake has had to, baby. She knows. Exactly. She's given birth.
And by the way, we don't get paid unless
I don't think she needs help.
Up front. So just click on the link in the description or call the phone number that's on screen
There's
right
more,
now for a free
apparently.
consultation with my team. Because you don't just need a legal team, you need the Eagle Team. So click or call below. Now, the Me Too movement might have inspired more people to report sexual harassment at work, but the basic outlines of sexual harassment law haven't changed since the passing of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. In Title VII of this act, the term sexual harassment is understood to be a subset of sex discrimination, which is unconstitutional. Sex discrimination is when a person is treated unfavorably in their employment, specifically because of their sex. And there are generally two types of sexual harassment: quid pro quo sexual harassment and hostile work environment sexual harassment. A hostile work environment occurs when an employee is subjected to unwelcome physical or verbal conduct of a sexual nature that is so severe or pervasive as to alter the employee's working conditions or create an abusive work environment. Now, the Supreme Court has said that Title VII is not a general civility code for the American workplace. Quote, whatever evidentiary route the plaintiff chooses to follow, he or she must always prove that the conduct at issue was not merely tinged with offensive sexual connotations, but actually constituted discrimination because of sex. Now, the standard rule of thumb here is that conduct by subordinate peers or superiors that is reasonably deemed unwelcomed by an employee is prohibited. Now, the core of Lively's complaint is that she and other members of the cast and crew found Baldoni's conduct unacceptable and informed him that it was unwelcome. In one alleged instance, when Baldoni was riding in a car with Lively and her assistant driver, he started a conversation about his experience being abused by a girlfriend. He allegedly said that this forced him to reconsider the other's experiences. Quote, did I always ask for consent? No. Did I always listen to what they said? No. Lively claimed to be unsettled by this conversation. Quote, when Miss Lively exited the car, her driver immediately remarked that he did not want Miss Lively to be alone with Mr. Baldoni going forward. Lively allegedly sought a meeting with Heath and Baldoni after a disagreement over wardrobe, but she claims Baldoni showed up at her dressing room when she was topless and having her body makeup removed by makeup artists. She claimed she wouldn't let him in until she was fully clothed. Baldoni allegedly pressured her to let him in, insisting that he wouldn't allow her to meet with other producers if she wouldn't speak to him right then. She relented, but insisted that he keep his back turned.
Oh my
According to
God!
Lively, he turned around and ogled her topless body. Quote, Miss Lively and her hair and makeup artist were all deeply disturbed by this interaction, and that was just the second day of filming. Lively also claimed...
Oh my God. This is so bad. Dude. This is so bad. This is so sick. Like, it just keeps going. How does it just keep going? I keep thinking, like, surely it will end now. Matt, thank you. I feel so weird thanking for a super chat right now. Thank you for the super chat. Have you watched Booksmart or Dope? No. Those are like the last two. Those are the two last summer bad-esque I can't see what you're saying here. Movies before Hollywood gave up on comedies. Pretty funny movies that might make for a good reaction. I know a little bit about Booksmart, but I haven't seen either of those, no. Look up the evidence that came out about it. I'm curious what you think. I'm still trying to get through the fucking lawsuit, man. You mean the friend? The evidence that came out about the friend? Is that what you were talking about? Oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed, bro. Allie, I don't know if I thanked you for the Prime, but thank you for the Prime. Greg, thank you for the 4 months of Tier 1. Dude, I'm starting to, like, get so uncomfortable. I heard there were texts in his favor. What? This trial's gonna be fucking insane.
Claims that she and her 4-month-old also contracted COVID after Baldoni and Heath failed to warn her she had been exposed to the virus. And another...
All right, well, okay. I mean, we just had to throw that in there. I feel like that didn't need to go in there, honestly. I mean, that's a nice thing to do, but sometimes people are sick with the virus and they don't even know. Like, I don't think we need to put that in there.
The producer allegedly told Lively that they didn't implement COVID protocols on set because the production wasn't insured for it.
Quite frankly, nobody implements COVID protocols anymore on set. It's a major loss of money, and if you're not forced to do it anymore by SAG, you're not going to do it. So no one does it anymore. Like, I'm sorry, but get over it. That's the one thing, and that's the only thing in here so far that I've been like, get over it. The rest I'm like, oh my God, that's awful. This I'm kind of like, why did we need to throw this in here? This doesn't really, it's just trying to like add more, but I'm like, honey, the rest of the stuff is pretty awful. I don't think we need that too.
Also alleges the two men were, quote, also constantly hugging and touching cast and crew.
What? Oh, sorry. I misread a message. The evidence that are in Justin's favor, I don't know what to think about anything. Oh my God. Maybe he'll get to it. I don't know.
Lively said when she and other people avoided or objected to this touching, Heath and Baldoni, quote, would retaliate by becoming irritated, cold, and uncollaborative. The result was an unwelcoming and mercurial environment for Miss Lively, her employees, and others on set. And, quote, on another day, Miss Lively wore a low-cut dress to facilitate breastfeeding, but had it covered up with a coat. When the jacket briefly popped open at one point to reveal the dress, Mr. Baldoni commented about how much he liked her outfit, which flustered Miss Lively. Later that day, Mr. Baldoni pressured Miss Lively, who was in her...
Wait, sorry, hold on. What? To remove her coat in front of
pre-approved wardrobe, to remove her coat in front of the crew, and multiple background actors in a packed bar. He said he wanted to see her onesie under the coat because it was zipped low to reveal her lace bra. Lively alleges, quote, as a result of Mr. Baldoni's behavior on May 29, 2023, another cast member lodged a sexual harassment complaint about Mr. Baldoni's gross and unwanted comments towards her and others. The New York Times reported that because of this and many other instances that followed, Lively eventually walked from the set, following immediately by filing a formal HR complaint outlining the conditions that needed to change for her to return to work. These apparently included the immediate hire of an intimacy coordinator that, quote, no more images.
Wow, so they really just did not have one until this moment. That's fucking crazy. On a movie that's about sexual abuse, why would you not have an intimacy coordinator?
Is a video.
See, I can write a musical too. Hire me for the next Amelia Perez. I can do it.
Photos of nude women are to be shown to her, and Baldoni and Heath would cease all mentions of cast and crew genitalia. In Baldoni's lawsuit, he claims that no such complaint was ever filed with HR, nor was he ever informed of any of Lively's grievances. Now, according to the complaint, quote, Wayfarer failed to—
Was that before the movie came out? It would be, Goodly, because that this is on set still. So in order for her to return to work, they hired one. I've got no clue what to think about this case. Her story seems pretty convincing, but his evidence seems pretty solid. This is fucked up. It's so fucked up. That's why I was like, I'm sorry. I know this is dark, y'all, but I like have to dive into this because I'm so crazy. I'm confused. It's crazy. It's like, what is happening?
provide Miss Lively with even rudimentary employment protections, such as an employee handbook, sexual harassment policy, information or any training on sexual harassment, discrimination, or respectful workplace expectations. Lively says that she and other employees tried to address their concerns directly with Heath and Baldoni, but they were unwilling to correct their own behavior. Lively says that she then approached Sony and told them that she wanted to file an HR complaint about Mr. Baldoni and Mr. Heath's misconduct. Sony was the distributor of the film, and a Sony representative told her that—
I'm sorry, he's been saying Heath and Baldoni for a long time. Who's Heath? I like missed this. I feel like I totally missed this, and now it's been mentioned. Jamie Heath. Was he like the co-host of the Man Enough podcast? So he was a producer? Was he a producer? Named alongside, hold on. He's probably a producer. CEO of Wayfarer Studios, production company. Okay. That's what I was assuming, but I know he mentioned this, but there's a lot of information being thrown at me right now. So it's hard to retain everything because I'm so overwhelmed by just what's in the lawsuit, let alone who these people are.
Sony, quote, was not empowered to control Mr. Baldoni or Mr. Heath's behavior on set, and that such concerns must be raised with Wayfarer, the studio responsible for the production. So in production—
If I had just let the video play, he would have told me.
Geared up to resume in late 2023, Lively's lawyers negotiated an agreement called, quote, Protections for Return to Production. That negotiation apparently culminated in an all-hands meeting on January 4th, 2024. Sony, Wayfarer, and other producers said in writing that, quote, Wayfarer, Sony, and production respectfully acknowledge that Miss Lively has concerns regarding safety, professionalism, and workplace culture. Although our perspective differs in many aspects, ensuring a safe environment for all is paramount, irrespective of differing viewpoints. Regarding your outline—
Interesting. Although our perspective differs. So they're basically just like, although we don't agree with her. Interesting.
Requests, we find most of them not only reasonable, but also essential for the benefit of all parties involved. The parties then apparently executed a contractual—
So they're basically saying like, yeah, we agree with all of your requirements. We didn't think that wasn't happening. That's okay.
Executed on January 19th, 2024. And that writer says, an intimacy coordinator must be on set. There is to be no spontaneous improvising of any scenes involving physical touching, simulated sex, or nudity. There must be a closed set during the rehearsal or filming of any scene involving simulated sex or nudity, and any observation via remote monitors shall be restricted to essential personnel as approved by Lively. There are to be no discussions of personal experiences with sex or nudity, including as it relates to conduct with spouses or others. A Sony representative must be on set. Wayfarer will engage an additional experienced A-level producer approved by Miss Lively to actively supervise the production. Now, Baldoni, unsurprisingly, has pushed back against the conclusion that this contract is an admission of liability. He says Wayfarer was already providing a safe environment with appropriate safeguards, but his assertion is undercut somewhat by Wayfarer's lawyer, who wrote that, quote, "While our perspective differs in many aspects, ensuring a safe environment for all involved is paramount, irrespective of differing viewpoints. Regarding your outline requests, we find most of them not only reasonable, but also essential for the benefit of all parties involved." Under the revised contract, the parties agreed, quote, "There shall be no retaliation of any kind against Miss Lively."
I think that's all. I think that's them trying to not admit liability. I think that's them trying to say, like, we agree with this. Our perspective differs because we thought these things were happening, or like we're okay with this because like we agree it should be safe. Like I kind of understand what Baldoni is saying, like it's not admitting liability, but
concerns
I
about
can see it from both sides, I guess.
Conduct described in this letter or for these requirements. Any changes in attitude, sarcasm, marginalization, or other negative behavior, either on set or otherwise, including during publicity.
Hold on. I'm gonna
described in this letter.
Sorry, ADHD. I'm rewinding.
There
Sorry.
shall be no retaliation of any kind against Miss Lively for raising concerns about the conduct described in this letter or for these requirements. Any changes in attitude, sarcasm, marginalization, or other negative behavior, either on set or otherwise, including during publicity and promotional work, as a result of these requests, is retaliatory and unacceptable and will be met with immediate action. And Title VII also prohibits an employer from retaliating against an employee who has, quote, made a charge, testified, assisted, or participated in any charge of unlawful discrimination under the Act. And in 2006, the Supreme Court expanded the concept of retaliation by defining adverse employment action in a broad way. If an employer's conduct, quote, would have been materially adverse to a reasonable employee or job applicant, and the action could, quote, dissuade a reasonable worker from making or supporting a charge of discrimination, then it is an adverse employment action. And retaliatory actions may include things that happen outside of the workplace. Lively says that she and other members of the cast eagerly signed on to the movie's marketing campaign. However, she and the cast chose not to appear with Baldoni. Lively and co-star Jenny Slate unfollowed Baldoni on Instagram.
They did.
And Baldoni didn't take photos with the other actors on the red carpet. And fans of the
That's
novel
true.
took note of these.
That's when everybody started freaking out about the drama. It's exactly when it happened with Don't Worry, Darling either. It was the premiere, you know? Everybody noticed, oh, there's drama.
Events. Lively also alleges that Baldoni became paranoid that the media would discover that Lively and others had complained about his conduct, and as a result, she alleges that he and Wayfarer Studios hired Melissa Nathan's firm, the agency group PR, to launch a covert digital campaign to harm Lively's reputation and suppress criticism of Baldoni. The retaliation plan included spreading false narratives on Reddit and social media designed to undermine Lively's credibility, and the complaint alleges that Nathan delivered a proposal that included, quote, creation of a social fan engagement to go back and forth with any negative accounts.
So incredibly glad that the press went so well today. From what I know, Justin felt incredibly supported. I took the day to do some research and get digital quotes. As you are both aware, we are in a predicament. We just do not know the outcome right now. Saying that full transparency is key here. We have seen the most innocuous issues turn giant due to socials, or the hugest crisis have no effects on social whatsoever. You just cannot tell at this stage. But Blake Lively does have some of the TS fan base. So we will be TS. We will be taking it extremely seriously. We also understand audience is not solely the Justin Baldoni fan base, the studio, so it is covering all bases. Time, quotes for what the fees would be. All of this will be most importantly untraceable. Wait, this will be for a 3 to 4 month period. Includes full Reddit, full social account takedowns, full social crisis team on hand for anything. Engage with audiences in the right way. Start threads of theories. Her trying to get a gag order on him is she tried what? Wait, what about Taylor Swift? Oh, I forgot they were friends. Thank you. I'm like, TS, what the fuck? Okay, yeah, thank you. This is giving major Don't Worry, Darling energy. It really is, but even wilder somehow. Okay.
This method of engagement is called astroturfing, and it's designed to look like opinion commentary from the general public when it's actually manufactured by a particular group. Now, the complaint includes text messages between Baldoni's publicist, Jennifer Abel, and Melissa Nathan discussing the plan. Abel allegedly told Nathan that, quote, he wants to feel like she can be buried. Nathan is alleged to have replied that, quote, you know we can bury anyone, but I can't write that to him. In text messages, Abel and Nathan discuss a Daily Mail story titled, Is Blake Lively Set to be Canceled? Nathan complimented Abel, writing, you really outdid yourself with this piece. Nathan replied, that's why you hired me, right? I'm the best. The campaign allegedly included public humiliation as marketing strategies were shifted to frame Baldoni.
You know, I knew that jobs like this existed, right? I knew this was a thing, but I feel like I constantly forget that it's a thing because my brain just doesn't work this way. Like, I can't imagine that being my job, just trying to tear people down and like create a public perception about somebody. That's crazy. That's a crazy job. Like, I think that they are probably the worst human beings. Not in this whole story. If the things that Justin Baldoni did that are alleged are true, then not in this whole story, but they're pretty icky. It's pretty icky.
Baldoni as a supporter of survivors of domestic violence, sidelining Lively and distancing her from promotional efforts. Online comments started vilifying Lively for telling fans to, quote, wear their florals to the movie, with many concluding that she was insensitive to domestic violence.
Yeah, that is how it was
perceived.
perceived.
Anti-discrimination laws, a person must file a charge.
That's how I perceived it too, to be fair. Like, if this is the case, I fell for it. But that's why, I mean, I like reacted to one thing and just kind of, even then I was like, I don't think I was even that harsh on her, but I did think the marketing was very tone deaf. They didn't need to do that to Amber Heard. She was crazy. Gotta go, but this drama is insane. I'm definitely following this now. Sorry, Chubby Runs. Have a good rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend.
State or federal agencies such as the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, or EEOC, before they can bring a federal discrimination claim in court. This process is known as exhausting your administrative remedies. And Lively filed her initial complaint with the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing. The agency will investigate and attempt to resolve the complaint through mediation, investigation, or other means. And if the agency does not complete its investigation within 180 days of when the claim was filed, then the claimant gets a right to sue letter, which allows them to file a legal complaint in court. And Lively filed her lawsuit in the U.S. District Court for New York. The lawsuit puts forth 13 causes of action, including sexual harassment, retaliation, breach of contract, intentional and negligent infliction of emotional distress, invasion of privacy, defamation, false light, failure to prevent harassment and retaliation, negligent supervision and retention, interference with prospective economic advantage, constructive discharge, and loss of consortium.
That is a lot.
2 days later, Baldoni retaliated by filing a lawsuit, but not against Lively. Instead of
against New York Times.
Baldoni pulled the bonkers move of
not
suing the New York
Lively,
Times
just the
for
New York
defamation,
Times.
false light, invasion of privacy, and breach of implied contracts. The plaintiffs claim that the newspaper published an article based on Lively's civil rights complaint that painted Baldoni and Wayfarer as orchestrators of a smear campaign against Lively, a claim which Baldoni alleges that the New York Times knew to be false or willfully refused to perform basic fact-checking. According to the complaint, the New York Times article intended to construct a fictitious narrative built on misrepresented, altered, and cherry-picked communications, falsely depicting Baldoni's common professional interactions as malicious. For example, Baldoni said that after he raised reasonable concerns about his capacity to lift Lively's body weight during a dancing scene, she threatened to quit the production out of personal offense, effectively holding everyone's job hostage. Heath and Baldoni then alleged that Lively, fearing she would be recast, concocted a scheme to make them the villains. Quote, to highlight the effects of masterful gaslighting, Baldoni and Wayfarer also truly believed that in an effort to save herself from the backlash of being recast, Lively could leak that she felt fat-shamed by Baldoni, which he thought would ruin his career. Baldoni says he has evidence that all of the interactions we've highlighted were consensual or mischaracterized. For instance, Baldoni says he has text messages showing that she invited him into her trailer while she was breastfeeding. But Lively alleges that she never said she wouldn't allow anyone to be near her when she was breastfeeding or pumping. Rather, the complaint says, quote, Ms. Lively often had to work while breastfeeding, which she felt comfortable doing so long as she was given the time and space to cover herself. She did this frequently because she was not given breaks to feed her baby, but Miss Lively did not expect or consent to anyone entering her private spaces while topless, exposed, and vulnerable with her newborn, or during body makeup application or removal. Baldoni's complaint claims that Lively and the newspaper collaborated to construct a defamatory narrative to harm Baldoni and Wayfarer Studios while enhancing Lively's public image. The plaintiffs thus seek damages in the amount of $250 million for the harm caused by the publication and its impact on their professional.
It's interesting that he's suing the New York Times. I guess maybe it's an easier lawsuit. It's interesting. This is so crazy.
And I will remind you, the dollar amount that's included in a complaint is always just pulled out of thin air.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything.
No.
And the lawsuit was filed in California, which strategically makes
Because like a lot of the times when they lose, doesn't the amount change anyway if they win or lose or whatever? And not if they lose, but if they win. Can't they change the amount?
No sense. California has one of the strongest anti-slap laws in the US, and under California's Code of Civil Procedure, defendants can quickly seek to dismiss lawsuits that target protected free speech or petitioning activities, particularly those connected to public interest matters. And if the defendants prevail, they may also recover attorney's fees and costs. Now, either way, the story is probably only going to get messier because Colleen Hoover already published a sequel novel called It Starts With Us.
Oh
but
my
if
God.
the sequel movie is ever going to happen, it's going to start with them in court.
It's going to be a
But
different
as the
cast.
incriminating text messages between Baldoni's PR agents show, you need to be careful what information is available online. And you should probably remove as much of your info as you can.
It's going to be
which
an
you can
ad
do
for
with
like
today's
delete
sponsor,
me or
Incogni.
something. There you
Incogni
go.
removes your personal data from online data brokers by reaching out directly and forcing them to take your personal info down. If these data brokers fight back, Incogni will take care of that too, because Incogni fights back. These data brokers are one of the reasons why in the US, you can search your name and find a bunch of websites that will give anyone your home address, phone number, and extensive history. It's shocking to see just how easy it is to find all this information. It also might be why you're getting so many spam calls lately, or even how someone might steal your
I'm just letting the ad play a little
Incogni
bit.
is a great way to fight back, increase your online privacy, and cut down on those annoying scam calls and emails that used to flood my voicemail and inbox. Now, I've been using Incogni
He's now
for
suing Blake and
years,
Ryan?
And in that time, you can see I've been on hundreds of lists, some of which had a high sensitivity score, meaning that the broker had tons of data on me. Luckily, Incogni has completed hundreds of
Hold
takedowns
on.
for me over the years.
We're going to pause this. Has now sued Oh, see, this is what I saw. This is why I was confused. Justin Baldoni has sued Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds for $400 million. So he has sued both now. He sued them and he sued the New York Times. This is heavier than I really anticipated when I started to watch this video, because there's so much context that's not even in this video. Because he released this 2 weeks ago, and in that time, so much has changed. I want him to release another video because this is...
Hey, Legal Eagles.
This is crazy. I'm going to have to do deeper digging on this, y'all. I'm going to have to do some deeper digging. Holy heck. It looks like we're going to have to do another deep dive on this because that was just the tip of the iceberg. I might just quit politics and become paparazzi. There's so much drama in Hollywood. Oh, yeah. And the majority of the drama in Hollywood doesn't really matter. Like, politics is kind of stressful because you feel like you're like, oh, this has a direct implication on a lot of things in my life. Hollywood drama doesn't most of the time. Incognito. There you go. All right, y'all, go support Legal Eagles channel. That was a great video. I still feel like I just need so much more context and information. This is fucking wild. Didn't know what I was getting into when I clicked my way over here. Yeah. Welcome. All right. Throwing spaghetti at the wall approach. It could be. I have no idea. It's very confusing. There's a lot of evidence apparently that I haven't seen from potentially Baldoni's side, so I want to look into that too. But I like Legal Eagle. He doesn't embellish much, just tries to be factual. Yeah, he's great. He's amazing. All right. We're just going to watch this one trailer today, Movie Mike, but I will keep that trailer in mind for another time because we've actually been sitting here a lot longer than I anticipated, and my back's not happy. So we're just going to watch this Noxus trailer. I will keep in mind The Last of Us and Severance for the next time because we're going to have to do another deep dive on what the fuck is going on with this lawsuit. I'm sure there will be more things to react to. We'll do more react streams. I do want to get back to Detroit too at some point. I'm not going to scroll back to find your snack joke, Doro. I'm sorry. Okay. Here we go. This one, right? The one with the most views, I would imagine. Oh, this was 4 years ago. Shit. All right, here we go. This should be right? Yeah, this was 2 weeks ago. Okay. Stardew Valley. It's been a while since I played Stardew. I know, lol.
Noxus is where the strong gather.
I do love Mel. So we're going to get to see more of her. That's great.
And defiant. Calling them here to answer one simple question. Are you strong enough?
Oh! Yes! Oh, Mel! I fucking love her! I have chills! I have goosebumps! Wow. He looks like he would exist in the League of Legends game. It almost looks like if Jace took a lot of steroids.
I like it when the bite marks cut through the skin.
Ooh. Who's that with that hair? Oh, new character. Ooh. Woo! Some new hotties. Not the Spider-Woman, but the other girl. What the fuck? Oh, dude. You better run. What? Buddy, you should have... Oh, no. Oh, wow. I did not have faith. I thought he was dead for sure. I thought his neck was going to get yanked off his neck. Or his head was going to get yanked off his body. You know what I'm trying to say. I did not have faith. I was like, run, brother! Dude, Mel is so cool. I love her. Ooh, I don't like Spider-Girl. She freaking me out. Ooh. Ooh, she's like a ballerina. Ah! Some people are into spider ladies. I can't with spiders. Woo! Easy breezy, effortless. Look at her. Ew, she's just a big spider now. Ew. these three are going to be pretty important. Ooh. Oh my god, there's still more? Dude, the animation of the webs, damn. The animation of everything. It's all just stunning. Oh, this is somebody else.
Every new path
is she a witch too?
lead us closer to chaos.
This guy's familiar. This guy's really familiar. He almost kind of reminds me of like that dude in Arcane that got put in a wheelchair, but he looks like the goth, emo, more powerful version of him.
We should focus on the opportunity that's washed up on our shores.
Unforeseen turns are simply part of any path.
Yes, but that, darling, is a step too far. Even for us.
Piltover was a lesson, Vladimir. Calamity is always approaching. In some moments, its arrival is more imminent than others. Our next move must be bolder, not safer.
What is that? What is that? Oh, damn. So they were behind. They were part of the Piltover plan. Lady behind the black rose. I think it's what it seems like. She's very magical. Those are League of Legends characters. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, Vladimir especially. The way she said his name, I was just like, you gotta know that he's in the game. Ooh, dude, I'm shocked they had this ready so soon. It's set. When is it set to go? Season 1 is what? Wait, when is it? Not a trailer for the next show. Oh, so that was just a cinematic? It's not for the... Wouldn't that be for the next show? Is it not? It seems like it should be. That was just like a teaser for the game? I'm so confused. Oh, just for the game? And a teaser for what's to come. Well, that's what I felt. It felt like a tease for what's to come. 2, I believe. Yeah, that's what I would think. It seems like it would be a teaser. It's just a trailer for the ranked season of the game. I mean, obviously it's posted on League of Legends and it makes sense. And it says here, like, the season 1 just started for the next, season of the game. But I feel like this has got to be part of the next show. Everyone is assuming it's a teaser for the Noxus show. I feel like it probably is. I feel like this is a lot of work to put in. If it's just for the game. Come on now. Come on. Give me more Mel. I love Mel. Maybe they were putting it out there to see what like the temperature was. Mel became the newest champion in the game. I love Mel. It's definitely a setup. I think so. I hope so. I would love to watch another show with Mel in it. I mean, every other character looked different to me and new, even if they're in the game or whatever. Anyway, this was fun. Thank you for hanging out, guys. I know today was kind of all over the place with the reacts and stuff, but I hope you enjoyed a little bit more of a chill format where we were just kind of catching up on stuff that I wanted to watch and catch up on. No real rhyme or reason, just some weird drama and things. I'm more confused now than I was before about some of the stuff, but it's okay. Let's raid on Twitch. If you are watching over on Twitch, you can come hang out and be a part of the raid. We're going to raid Swell Entertainment. Now you're pretty cool. No, you're pretty cool, Joe. Thanks for hanging out, y'all. Thank you for all the super chats and donos. Thanks for putting up with my silly, dumb ass as I tried to follow legal jargon. This is my first time attending yours. Thank you, Oxcan. Welcome. I hope you enjoyed. I try to be here every week. The movie premiere did go well in New York, Doro. Thank you. Yes, we are currently speaking with potential distributors. We'll see. Fingers crossed. All right, let's raid Swell Entertainment. Thanks so much for hanging out, y'all. And I will see you in the next one next week sometime. Till then, take care. Bye.